It's kind of weird though now. Like I feel like I don't really listen to that much new music. I mean, maybe that's one way I'm old. Like I'll make a concentrated effort, but it's to like listen to something I haven't listened to before. But then it's just kind of like it's you know, it's funny. Like I feel like what is it? Okay, so there's kind of this way like as artists or as bands or as music gets as they mature or they get older, it's like if they do not die from drugs or drinking or something like that, like they seem to move towards this I don't know how to describe it other than like a very clear sound. It's like you kind of end up in a rather similar mature place. Not exactly. There's still differentiation and whatnot, but like it kind of feels like that happens as like musicians get older. And then I feel like I'm starting to wonder, like, does it happen to me as a listener? Because it's like that's kind of the one thing that I don't know. I guess I don't get new feelings. I guess new music, it's almost too much of a cerebral activity or something. God, I don't know. I don't understand it, basically. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying stuff. But yeah, because it's like I'll find a new band and I'll be like, oh, that's cool. I think the last time I think I got excited about new music I heard was when the chiptune rock band thing was starting to be a deal. On Monoguchi and a few other bands, and then but that's like been years ago now. And now like I'll hear new stuff and I'll hear new things that are throwback, but old man doesn't like new music. It's a tale old as time. Yeah, I think so, right? Because it's like I make a concentrated effort to not be like it was better back in the day. Genesis does what Nintendo don't like all these newfangled systems or whatever. I know, aside from like, I don't know, not liking the new Pokemon or something. But yeah, it's like, yeah, that's like one place I'm boomerific. The thing is, I can listen to it. If I was at a concert, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool, or those guys are pretty good, right? But I think like something about music is so something about it is very in the moment compared to other art, right? And like when they always talk about music speaks to a generation, right? I think it really does, right? And like there was a particular period where it was like I needed music that I related to like immensely, and it was just, it carried me through life, right? And now I don't really need music like that anymore because it's just kind of on that raw emotional level. Like a lot of that kind of stuff the music did for me, I don't really need it, right? So like I have nostalgia for a lot of the stuff that was really important to me then, and when I hear anything new, I have a awareness of whether this seems like a talented band or not talented, and whether I am liking it or I'm not liking it. But it's just it's weird. It's like the intensity of that type of just that has faded specifically. Concerts have an environmental eye. Life is faster now. Hey Nib, what's up? Kid Fortnite bipping and bopping and swipping. I'll listen to some Iron Maiden and drink beer like normal people. Concerts, yeah, I think at a concert I probably soak up the vibe or the environment. So I guess if I'm at a concert and everybody else is at it is kind of enjoying the music, I empathetically or vicariously kind of enjoy it through them even more, and I can dig that. And it kind of sucks when I'm someplace and people aren't into a band or into an opener. It's just like, man, I've always kind of been like that with music though, right? Like I could have a favorite band in the entire world, right? Like this could be my favorite band, and I play it for somebody else and they don't feel it, they don't like it, right? And then in that moment I don't like it, like that's just how I am, right? And it's like I know intellectually if I was listening to this in isolation I would enjoy it much more, But it's like, and they don't even have to say anything, right? It's just kind of like the vibe they're kind of giving off as they listen to it greatly affects my enjoyment. So it sucks going to a concert with people that wouldn't like the concert. It like I don't know, like something about. But when concert, when everybody's feeling it, it's easier to get into too. Don't go to concerts anymore. Too many people, too loud, too expensive, too sweaty. Used to go 30, 40 shows a year. Oh, I didn't go to that many. Maybe like, a couple, 2 or 3. Love music, but barely listen to new music. Usually listen to favorites. Something on Vivaldi. Yeah, I mean, I do. I will listen to new stuff. I mean, there was other. Actually, I found like a new mumble rap. Like I can't remember his name. Like he doesn't have like an alias kind of name. It was just like his it just seems like his first name and his last name. And I guess I just stumbled into him on YouTube, and like his music videos and his music, it seemed like it was almost like if it was cool, because what he seemed to be expressing was like, this is what happens when you get too saturated and dunked in rap culture, as if rap culture is fed to you by the Twitter algorithm and you're just drowning in it. I wish I could remember his name, but and I watched like a couple videos from him, and I thought it was neat, but it didn't speak to me or nothing. But like I was like, oh, that's cool, But yeah, I think that's just how music's gonna be. Like, I think with music, you just get old. And if you go to the 90s, like that's when it was like my music per se. But and then once you get to 2000s, I'm like, I could find some stuff I still like. And you go back later, and there's a lot of stuff I historically appreciate, right? But yeah, but when you come to the current day, it's like a cerebral exercise. It's really interesting. But I think because I think the current music, and like, what is it? How we say, like, music is homogenized, and the top 10 music list charts or whatever. It's like rap is kind of fused with rock and like chiptune and very high. I mean, not chiptune, but kind of in some ways sometimes. But I meant just high production values, and like everything's kind of fusing. But I think that's an expression of the current time, right? Where I mean, everything does kind of have to fuse together, so that makes sense for music to be that way. But like, remember Eminem? Yeah, I mean, I know plenty of Eminem songs, right? Like, when did the Loudness War happen? I hate Travis Scott. That might be it. That sounds familiar. There's like some album that's like carnival themed or something like that. Yeah, I mean, Loudness War. I know that I just didn't like. I like Dynamics, man, but maybe that's a drummer thing. Like, I mean, I do think it's cool that like a lot of modern day music is actually very minimalistic in some ways, right? Like the rap songs will just be like a really complex drum beat and some occasional sounds and then rapping, right? But I think that's a result of you're so drowned on social media these days, and you have so much information coming in at you at all times from every angle and everything, that it's like you need a respite, right? And so like for your respite, it's like more simplistic music is easier to vibe to get away from things, or be background when you're just being deluged by so much stuff. Loudness over 40s, 90s is when it got terrible. People immediately writing music older than their gen. Good music always made somewhere at some point. Just have to taste all the genres. It's also easier to make. What, loudness stuff or music just got easier to make? Yeah. Well, okay. So that's what's like YouTube comment sections for music are lame, right? It's always like, or at least if you go to music that's like 10 years or older, it's always like, they don't make it like they used to. And then you go like 10 years before that, they don't make it like it used to. And then you go 10 years before that, they don't make it like they used to. But it's not that they don't, I mean, of course they don't make it like they used to, right? But the point is, like, I mean, I think it's that same point. It's like those boomer feelings I'm getting about music. It's like, well, they're not making it for you. and it's not about your current thing. And of course, you go back to that time, but like going there and kind of complaining about it, it's just like easier to make with computers. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess that makes it easier to make. I mean, I suppose you don't have to learn to make an instrument, so perhaps that opens it up for somebody who wouldn't be able to learn to play an instrument. But I mean, I think having a sense of melody and a sense of rhythm, right, and a compositional ability and like that creativity, like, and being able to make something that appeals or is relatable, or maybe even the opposite, right? Like I feel like those are the skills that still really kind of count, you know, and still not everybody has those, right? Watch news, listen to the radio, turn it off. Stare intently at a potato, listen to classical music, the process all. Easier to record and distribute. Yeah. Computer open many horizons. Cherry soundtrack would have been harder 15 years ago. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Right? That would have been a nightmare. Especially because, like, it has nothing to do with, like, the instruments I can actually play. It's like, I could play drums, could play guitar. Oh, this is probably going to need lots of keyboardy sounds and needs to sound more orchestrated. It's like, dang, that was a lot of work still. It's a good thing that was easier. Creative people who don't dedicate life to studying music express themselves musically. Easier for anyone to make with auto-tune. Yeah, I mean, maybe in some ways, but like, I mean, you still can't have like a lame song and like, you can have like a meme song and auto-tune yourself in it and kind of get by, right? But people weren't stressed 15 years ago either. Yeah, in fact, 15 years ago, the music back then kind of added in more stress, or was more stressful, right? Like, or it was what it was expressing. Like, I think music was just like more emotionally loaded, I think. Singing poorly in the 60s and 70s, or just kind of punk in general. Auto-tuning is just a style. Well, like, it's reactive, right? Because that's what I'm thinking. It's like, now that we're auto-tune and production values, it's easy to make high production values. There's probably going to be like a more acoustic back to basics revolution, because everything goes through waves, right? Like, and it just kind of circles, but like a moving forward circle, and it'll come back around, and eventually gets overused, and the next generation of kids are like, that's nice, but that doesn't represent me and my feelings and my concerns, right? And then the musicians from that will then go and make something new. More music out there, you'll see more bad music. The good music will be fewer between. Yeah, it'll be harder to find, right? Discoverability issues and things like that. But I mean, the increase in distribution might let some voices get their stuff out there that might have been hard to hear beyond a local sense before. So that might have changed. But yeah, needle in a haystack. Yeah. It's but yeah, like it's so interesting, because it's weird now too, because it's like, if I listen to like very modern, very produced stuff, it's like, it's really hard. And if I immediately listen to something like some early 90s grunge or something, I'm like, I know this is my time period, you know, this is my music, so I get the emotion, but it's like, it does sound tired compared to like modern stuff. It's sonic creative stuff is just weird.